Hello, survivors, and welcome to the Zombicide Fans Podcast, where we discuss and review all Zombicide games. I'm Ryan, and along with hosts Schmedley and James and special guest Jason, we're picking up right where we left off last episode with our discussion and review of Zombicide Undead or Alive. Thanks for listening. Here we go. Cool. All right. Should we move on to our book club mission?
Absolutely.
Sure.
All right. Our book club mission. E6 web mission, bring out your dead. Jason, would you like to read the thing?
Sure. Yep. An affliction of unknown evil has washed over the quaint town. Every day, more townsfolk succumb to the mysterious illness that inevitably results in their death. Distraught, the mayor has ordered that the corpses of the deceased to be placed in a corpse cart in the town square and to be disposed of immediately. As the corpses pile atop one another, the mass of flesh seems to shudder. A lifeless body fell off the cart, first motionless, then convulsing. Not so lifeless after all. We must get rid of the corpse cart post-haste, lest the body count rises. So the objective is get rid of it, move the wagon to the exit zone. So special rules setup is place the wagon in indicated zone, place the orange spawn zone on top of the cart. The mobile spawn zone, the orange one on the cart, remains inside the wagon and is not affected by holy water. If zombies spawn in the wagon zone, not the wagon itself, the wagon cannot enter buildings. And each objective gives 5 AP to the survivor who takes it. Keep the objective token next to the dashboard. It doesn't take up a slot in the inventory. It can be traded like any equipment card. And survivor standing in the wagon zone can spend 1 action to discard an objective token they have to move the wagon 1 zone towards the exit zone.
Yeah, and also it's 6 survivors, hard, 75 minutes by Henrique Garrigos, Rodrigo Soneso, and Toy Von Glenn. Probably pronounced all that wrong, but those are our designers on that. It's a 6-tile.
That's our Zombicide team, right?
That's our Z team. Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, 6-tile mission. How did it go for you, Schmedley?
No hate to the Z team, but it did seem pretty easy. Was that the experience you guys had?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. It was a fun mission. I don't know if I'd call it hard. But so we had Billy the Kid without his miniature, Sheriff Arp, Preacher Paul, Sister Grace, the Nameless, and Sheriff Mittens, who I will amend a thing I said earlier that I didn't have a mechanically favorite character, but when I think it might be Sheriff Mittens because his blue skills, +1 max range, escalation ranged, and townsfolk together make him not only a rare instance of 3 starting abilities, but they all work together in like a really cool way. So he got a shotgun, which I didn't remember that the shotgun just has sniper stats in this, where it has 3 range to begin with. So he has 4 range. He has 4 range, can use it in buildings, and gets escalation on it, which just makes him very good at clearing distant threats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a beast. I didn't even look at his card before.
As long as they're not brutes, he's great.
It's a crazy 3 abilities to have together: townsfolk, +1 max range, and escalation ranged.
Yeah.
So we had we started there. We went into the building to the left of the spawn point there. We got that objective. I think it's the only objective we picked up, because we ended up moving our cart mostly by daisy chaining our turns, by planning ahead, having everybody like move into a line and moving it several times in a turn.
Was that the upper left building that you got that out of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went in there. We got a few guns. We didn't even really enter another building, I don't think.
Same here. It's funny.
And then at the very end, we fought an abomination that made it a little slower. And then at the very end, Abominate did spawn, but we just left instead.
Okay, I'm going to be a little bit long-winded about this one, so sorry, guys.
Buckle up.
Probably I don't know. I played this mission the first time about 3 months ago. And when we played it, I remember thinking it had a little bit of difficulty to it. Maybe we were still new into the game. But I've played a lot more games of this since then. So then last time we talked about bringing this up, I agreed with this one as being a good mission to play. And I'm just going to go right out and say I'm sorry. And I'm sorry to the Z team
I
guys.
thought it was fun.
I feel like we're missing a couple of things here.
Yep.
So let me just go through my experiences. Let me go through my experience first, and then I'll talk about all that for next. So I couldn't remember what we did months ago. So this morning, played it with my wife again. My wife had this idea of, well, while we're at Blue, why don't we just start pushing the cart? And I'm like, well, that sounds like you're just planning on the best card pulls ever, but let's try it. So we ran to the cart as opposed to going into any buildings. And I said, if you pull any brutes or you pull an abomination, we're screwed with this plan. Sure enough, second card pull, which would be the mobile spawn point, we pull the ape. And I'm like, well, now what do we do? She's like, all right, well, we got to back up and go into a building. So we back up, go into a building. We spend the next 6 turns at Blue finding holy water, dynamite, all the other stuff that we needed to do. And so by the time the ape got around to us, we killed the ape, started pushing the cart. And then I was like, well, we're already at 6 turns. I'm getting tired of this game. Let's figure out how we can speed this up. So I make a critical decision, a critical mistake. There's 6 walkers in a zone. I go up and take a couple of shots thinking, what's the worst that could happen? And sure enough, 2 cards are pulled. Walker extra activation, Walker extra activation, and we die because the 2 out of the deck we pull out of 2 cards that you can pull.
Nice.
I don't feel like that was a mistake on my part. I just feel like that was my luck. You guys can backseat quarterback that one all you want. That's cool. Next game we set up and I say, well, why don't we do this the way we should probably do this? So we run into the first building. We gear up, and then I think in 7 turns we win the game. We mainly pushed it, used a couple of objectives to move it, and got it to the exit. I think we went orange on the last turn just because we kind of had to. Somebody had to throw a dynamite to clear a path, and then everybody else moved the turn. And we specifically did not take any faithful. We specifically did not take Carl. We specifically were taking weak characters to try and make this game challenging, and it was still an incredibly easy game. I don't understand how it became hard. So my wife had to go to work, and before we did this podcast, I had it in my head like, how can you really break this mission? And I don't normally like to do that because I don't think that's very fair. But I'm like, okay, if I wanted to cherry pick my survivors and just like go the complete opposite way and make this the easiest game in the world, what could I do? So what I did was I picked Monica with +1 die melee. I picked Nora with sprint. I picked Preacher Paul with 1 free Vade retro. Weiser with shove. The Judge with lifesaver. And Nabaha with born leader. And I won this mission in 4 turns. I don't think I ever went yellow with anybody. I think 5 points I went with just because I turned off a spawn point. And it was just an incredibly easy mission. I don't understand how this is hard. I feel like, and now I'm going to turn into backseat, games designer here. I feel like we're missing the abomination spawn point on the mine.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, why is that not there? Like it's there on every other mission. Why is it not there? So I think you could fix this mission or at least make it a little bit more difficult by adding that. But I think there's 2 other things that you could really do to make this mission more interesting. One, I think that if you flipped over tile 1R to its 1V side, you get the exact same thing as the 2V tile, except for it includes an objective. So if you place that where the 2V tile is, you got a 6th objective place you could put. And then you just replace the 1R tile with another corner spot tile that has an objective. So now if you have 6 objectives, and you leave the wagon where it is, and you say the only way you can move the wagon is with the objectives, then I think you could possibly make it more difficult because now you can't use people to move it. You can only use it by, move it by using the objectives. I think then maybe it's a hard mission.
Then
But-
you would have to get all of them. Yeah.
Right. But as it is right now, I'm sorry guys. This seems like a big miss. Jason, what were your thoughts?
So in classic fashion, I played this wrong when I played this. So
Right fashion, not classic fashion.
Yeah, exactly. So my interpretation, of course, when I read the rules, I'm like, oh my God, I totally read this wrong. But I did not realize that placing the objective tokens in the cart would then move. That's what moves the cart. I thought you had to put all the objectives into the cart with an action, and then you had to move the cart using your 3 actions, which left me on the board for an incredibly amount of time. And we were getting it wasn't very hard. It didn't make the mission very hard, but it was not like a walk in the park. After I reread it, though, to your point, James, I'm like, well, if you're only supposed, because it doesn't say you only can move it using the objective tokens, but it's almost implied. And then I'm like, well, why are there only 5? There should be 6 because you got to move 6 places. So it seems like something's missing. And I would agree. I thought the same thing too about the abomination spawn zone. It's one of the only ones that, like, why doesn't it have one? And it clearly makes less zombies on the board for sure. But I didn't think it was incredibly hard. But the way I was playing it with the 3 actions to move the cart every time, including an action to drop all the objectives, it made it more of a slog.
Yes, this was incredibly easy to me. I was like, it was a good warm-up game for me to get back into this after not playing for a while. So it might be a great first mission for a bunch of new players. But yeah, incredibly easy, cool idea. And then I was like, gosh, there's gotta be something like, I'd recommend adding 1 or 2 spawns.
That was my thought too.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure. I really like the mechanics of this mission, but I'm not even really sure it would be a good introductory game. It kind of has the same issue that Y Zone has, and we talked a bunch about Y Zone in I think it's mission 2 in first edition, where it's just you just kind of leave, and in this you just kind of leave.
Yeah,
there's a little bit more,
Schmedley.
A little bit more to it, but yeah,
there's a little bit more to it this time.
And I put it, it's funny, I put a note here. Long Dead Walkers make the game easier. It was the first time that I played with them, and I put them in here, and it made the game easier because I didn't have to deal with them much. And they just diluted the deck and didn't get abominations in a game that was like probably all blue, or a very little yellow by the time I got to the exit after just a few rounds. There was we
had a little yellow, I think.
Yeah.
I think that shows, and I think this is true just about of any of the Zombicide versions. The longer that you play, the more that the danger can amp up, the harder the game gets. Any of these missions that you can get through quickly, they're extremely easy. Like if you can just grab and go, it's going to be an easy game. But if you're left on the board having to do things, that's going to slow you down and going to make it much more lethal. You're going to get the extra activations. You're going to get abominations.
Hence why adding the 6th objective and changing the rule that's the only way you can move the cart. And it's easy to do. Like it just requires a swap of a tile and 1 extra sentence to the special rules.
Yeah.
Yep.
It would, I'd be curious, like how much more difficult, like would that be very difficult at that point?
I didn't have the time to play it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to replay it that way though. I definitely will.
Get back to us. So yeah, like saying Long Dead Walkers makes the game easier. It does when you're in the early game, but I think to your point, just like, well, everything's easy in the early game, unless you're using stupid riders and horses. Okay. So, and I played with, it doesn't really matter who I played with. I just played with I played with Kickstarter survivors for the first time, and that was fun. And then plot twist about this mission, I went to the rule book and I was looking at some stuff, and I'm proud to be the person who saw this. So there's this side rail, and side rails in a rule book are always things that, or can be things that'll be easy to miss. Abomination spawn tokens. Abomination spawn tokens are placed on the cemetery and the mine tiles. Just flat out, black and white. They
Mhm.
are placed on those tiles. To reinforce that a little bit further, they become active when an abomination if none of these tiles are used, one abomination spawn token is set on the starting spawn zone at the start of the mission. So that just helps to reinforce it further that this is clearly, I'm saying, I believe 100% this is just a typo. This is just a design
Okay.
graphic design error. They just forgot to put the abomination spawn zone here in the mine.
But they also forgot to put it in the key.
Yes.
And in the write-up.
Because every single mission that has an abomination spawn zone also has it in the key.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
how can I assume that that's a typo when it's wrong in two places?
No,
if
that's
I'm
a good
playing
point.
this mission.
So yeah, not a typo then. I'd say a clerical error, right?
I can see
They
that.
just
I
forgot the
can-
rule, but the rule is stated in the rule book as a static rule.
I
This
would
tile
definitely
gets this
understand
thing.
it, if not a mistake,
giving
then
them that
as an
much.
oversight. I can totally
Yeah.
see a world where it was intended to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not giving him that much credit. Sorry. I'm glad you are, but I'm not.
Yeah, that it was an error on both accounts, you mean?
You're
Or-
saying that out of three people, those three people, and supposedly these have also been test played, that nobody noticed that?
Hmm.
Playtesting is wild. I'm surprised nothing came up in playtesting.
Yeah.
Especially when we all had this experience of it. It's like, something's missing here.
Right. They're just, yeah. Poor Undead or Alive. got underserved with this mission, I think.
I like to like things, man. I really do.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
This
Yeah,
one
absolutely.
just is a miss. It's
It is.
just
I
a
don't know.
miss.
I thought
It
it was fun. I don't think it's bad because it's easy.
But by not having an abomination spawn zone, it breaks two rules. So to me, clearly an error,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Because-
I'm gonna. I definitely want to play this. I think that the James tweak is dead on. I think you get the spawn zone in there, flip that tile over, and then with the extra objective on there, and then you just make it to where that's the only way you can move the wagon. Now it's a different mission. You're going to be on that board a lot longer. You're going to have
It's a very long
Corpse-
mission.
corpse
Yeah.
files. Yeah, it's going to be more like the description, hard and at least 75
Yeah.
minutes.
I mean, honestly, I want it in 4 turns. Like if you can win a game in 4 turns, it's not hard by any stretch of the
Yeah, right.
imagination.
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
Yeah. That's like the end of that first edition campaign that I did. Remember that?
Yeah.
It's just- I think
Yeah.
it went like
Yeah,
2
yeah,
turns.
where you just wandered all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted the game to death. It was wild.
Again, guys,
Wandering
I
time.
love you guys. I don't mean to be mean to you guys if anybody listens to this, but this one needs some help.
I think what Schmedley said, it was an oversight. I think missing that. rule.
I can see that. I don't know. It is weird that I hadn't considered like playtesting that not only did they not find it, but they also didn't consider it to be too easy. I don't know. That historically, Zombicide as a system, it seems like it's not the easiest to gauge the difficulty
Mhm.
when designing missions, supposedly even with playtesting.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much, I can't give them too much for that.
I mean, are there any other? The other thing is like, are there literally any other missions across any Zombicide that only has 2 spawn zones on it?
almost. there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah. There's a couple of campaign missions that only have 2 spawn points.
because anything that has 2 spawn points has to be so incredibly easy, unless there are intense
Yeah.
rules that really amp those 2 points up.
I mean, honestly, even if you didn't add a second spawn zone, just the restriction of having to enter these buildings and make this take longer would make those 2 spawn zones matter more.
Yeah.
So it's really just that you can end the mission so fast just in your own power. You don't need to actually go and seek these things out.
That's true.
And with this map, I could even send somebody in and never turn on a corpse pile to search for better weapons. Like there's a tile where you can search and you don't turn on corpse piles and you're okay. That's the
Oh,
other
that's true.
problem with this map. If they just switch the map tiles around, it'd be a lot better.
Yeah. Still here. Let's look at it. Look at this. There's a handy all Zombicides mission templates and map editor with Undead or Alive, and there is done. So
Okay.
So
Let's look at 1V.
1R and 1V. Okay, here's 1V.
I don't see
So
the
you-
objective token on there. There is one that has that. I'm not
Oh,
seeing it
these
on
are
either one of those.
none of these.
Those
oh,
are the
okay.
same.
I'm gonna have to amend these. These are from the actual. These are from Guillotine for their
Okay.
what do you call it? Their mission editor, and they just did not pre-print the objectives on here. So this is a great, great thing to find this now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, so none of them
Yeah,
have
none of them have
okay.
them. Yeah.
holy cow. I never knew that.
Yeah,
Huh.
Oh man, we're
Learn something
We are
new
through-
every day.
we are through the looking glass here, guys.
right.
No
Is
kidding.
that just Undead or Alive or?
Oh my
Let's
God.
see.
Don't blow my mind, Schmedley.
Let's see. So second edition should have things pre-printed.
It should have two
They do.
kinds.
I've
It should
used
have
it.
the. Oh, okay. It
Okay,
should
yeah,
have
they're
the
on
there.
epic crates too. Okay.
About Marvel Zombies.
Okay, Ryan, please get your physical 1V tile because I can't show it to you. You can show it to us.
No, I believe you. I can't find it. I can't find it right now under pressure. But no, I believe you. So 1V, like you said, it's split. One of those sides has an objective token on it.
Correct. So now imagine putting that there instead of the other one. So now you
Instead
got
of
6
2V.
objectives, right?
So what he's saying is you take one R, flip it to 1V and replace 2V, and then you find another corner building to replace the 1R you lost that still has the objective.
Okay. Yeah, the 2V part is the critical piece that
Yeah,
You would
2V
be-
goes away. You replace 2V with 1V, and now that 1R is not there, you replace it with another corner tile that still has an objective token in it, building.
Yeah.
So it could be 4R.
Okay, there you
4R would solve that problem.
Yeah, the part I was hung up on was the 2V part. That's the important part that gets to the 6th objective token.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
2V,
then you just add. Go ahead, Jason.
2V goes away, and 1R flips over to 1V and replaces 2V. And then to your point, James, you put, what did you say, 4V in there, and you
4R.
got it?
4R.
Yep. I'm gonna write that down because that's gonna be
And that gets you your 6 objectives, and then you just change the sentence where it says you can only move when you're greasing the wheels. You can only move the cart if you discard an objective token.
and add your zombie spawn.
Yeah, your abomination.
Abomination, yep.
Yep.
And then you got it.
And that
I'm
fixes the
afraid to
mission, I
Yeah.
think.
Totally. And then do that mission again, but in Black Plague because it's bring out your dead. You know, you got to do that
Sure.
with Monty Python custom characters from 2nd edition that are now ported into fantasy. Okay. Did we get some other missions played? Anybody that you wanted to
didn't.
talk about?
Not for Undead or Alive.
So the only I'd like to bring up the Big Boom because it is the latest one, even though
Yeah.
it's E6.
Just came out.
Yeah. Honestly, this one took us 3 times to win it, and we lost it the first 2 times the exact same way. Runner extra activations, which kind of is 90% of how you lose any Zombicide games. But I liked it because it had you doing a lot of stuff. It had you, going here to get this, going there to get that, putting together this, and then, doing this. And it incorporated the wagon, which I'm always going to advocate for. I know I just crapped on this last mission and it had the wagon, but I really think that the wagon is underutilized for them putting it in there. And this one, you have to push it to a spot and then you have to, shoot it and blow it up, kind of like a mission from the book. But in this one, you're using the Gatling gun to destroy it. But the cool thing is the Gatling gun is not fixed. It's broken down. So you have to go find, the green objective to do this part to the Gatling gun, the blue objective to do this part to the Gatling gun, and get it all to work. And I like those kind of missions. I like those missions where I got to go across the entire map. Like if there's a if there's a way I'm going and playing a mission and not entering a tile, it seems kind of wasted, right? So
Yeah.
you get in this one, you have to go all over the map and do certain things. So I really like this mission.
Jason, did you get a chance to play this mission?
I have not played this one. I did start the web mission. It's like E2, E3, and I haven't played E4 yet, but it's the Legend of the Sunrise Riders. Given the name, and it was Fel Barros, and I asked him on Discord, and he recommended 10 missions / campaigns that he recommended. This is one of them, so I'm like, well, I'm going to play that one. Plus, I was excited because I really hadn't played anything with the Running Wild expansion yet. So, but
Yeah.
so I like the first mission. It was good, with the exception of you don't get to use the horses. I'm like, well, wait a minute. You use the guys, but I was looking forward to using the horses. So I'm like, okay, well, you don't get to use them in the first mission. So it was enjoyable. I actually lost twice because it's one of them little 4 tile maps, which can sometimes be a little brutal. When I played the second mission, again, I was disappointed. I'm like, well, I'll get the second mission and get the horses. We're still looking for the saddles. So, and I have not beat this one. I played this one twice because you're in one giant building and it's pretty fun. You're kind of moving around, but I'd lost twice on that on some extra activations. So, still trying to. So I'm hoping as I get to part 3 that we finally get to use the horses.
That's funny.
Yeah, because I'm really looking forward to playing a little bit more with those guys. But the first one was good. Real small one, small board, 4 tile job. And it's funny. The first 2 times we lost. The third time we almost breezed through it. We just got like lucky. Just everything was going our way. And then the part 2 in that big building, it's kind of a cool layout because the whole thing just takes place in a giant building. But definitely went down a couple times to some extra activations.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm so glad. Like earlier, I was like, I hate the Running Wild stuff. And it might be because I played it on E6, the Big Boom mission. Maybe James, you could back me up on that or not, but I was like, boy, did I ever choose the wrong mission to try with the riders the first time.
That would be rough. That would be rough because you got to stay on the board. Like you can't just like retreat. You got to stay out in the streets, and that's not where leaving your horses shine.
Yeah. And I'll come back to that, but so the riders, I'm so excited to actually try them on not this E6 Big Boom mission, and to try those Running Wild specific missions. I gotta ask though, does anybody know, and maybe it's spoilers, you don't want to tell me, and that's okay. Like, is there a mission where you're riding on your horses alongside a train for like a train heist? Is there a mission for that yet?
I mean, unless you want to play one of the missions out of the rule book with your horses, no.
Man, I mean, I guess I could just do that because there was like a heist, at least one heist mission in the rule book, right? In the core rule book.
Yeah. There's the web mission. The first one is the heist. It's called.
So the bank heist mission was the one that I was talking to you, Ryan, that I was hoping you were going to try because it's only 2 survivors.
Oh yeah,
that's all you play with is with 2 survivors.
Yeah.
And that's my fault. But it's super challenging. It's like the Amy mission. It's like you're playing with your other friend, and you're like, well, what do we do? There's only 2 of us, but there's still multiple spawn points. Like there's the same amount of spawn points for this mission as there was the last mission we talked about. I mean,
wow.
but there's only 2 of you.
Wow.
Right. And you still only have your starting weapons.
Oh, I'm flipping through the rule book, but it's, that's from the web missions you're talking about.
Yeah. It's the very first web mission. Yeah. It's called the bank heist. And it's tough. It's a tough mission.
That's cool. Yeah. I'll try that next time.
Did you play the second part of it, James, where you see how the story ends?
So I have not, because when we played it, the QR code didn't work. And luckily somebody, maybe it was you, I don't know, somebody on Board Game Geek finally found the online post and put it up on Board Game Geek so I could download it. So I have it downloaded, but I haven't played it yet.
The link works now. I think, I don't know if you can click on this, but the link, instead of the QR code, if you click the link, it goes, I was able to print it out too. So
Oh, nice.
I
Good
haven't
job.
played it
Good.
yet, but yeah. Oh, there it is.
No, I
Cool.
have not played it.
I just flashed it real quick because it's got like spoiler stuff on it, right? So
Yeah.
I didn't want to show it too much. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think that's the only mission I haven't played from that is because I couldn't get to it. Like, it was broken.
I mean, wouldn't it just be amazing to like on a long train ride your horses alongside it and do something with it? And I guess I got a custom mission I got to make.
Sure.
That would be cool. I'd play it.
Nice.
So here's the nice thing too, Ryan.
Yeah.
You need to come up with a custom fourth train tile. So that way you can have a 2x4 with the train going all the way up on one side.
Yeah.
So you got more length to ride your horses.
Yeah. There you go. Absolutely. All right. So yeah, E6, the Big Boom. I also played this a couple of times. This was a great mission. I really enjoyed this too. So yeah, the first time I tried it was 6 riders, Sister Temperates, Tyler, Abby, Ollie, Amelia, Mitchell, and was bummed out to find I had to get immediately from this corner, get off the horses, get into this first building, search and stuff. I planted Sister Temperance in this middle area, like of the intersection where the wagon was to help intercept any bad guys. And not the Walking Dead. I got a lot of Long Dead walkers in the beginning that were a pain because I couldn't just, whittle down the hordes as they were coming. I had to wait for them to come to me to deal with them. And I just got weighted over my head way too quickly. And also just a lot of bad luck. I really relied on the luck to get me out of some tough situations where I would expect it to come, where it kind of usually does. And it didn't. I just wasn't getting any of the gear, any of the rolls that I needed. It was just a total disaster. I was like, running wild, horses are just terrible. What's going on here?
Because your open and move was wrong.
Okay, yeah. Talk to me about that.
Okay, so your open and move should have been, because you're on horses, you can go 2 zones.
Mhm.
So you can go down, right, and get into a building that doesn't turn off a corpse pile and start searching to deal with stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you're
it'd be
closer to
this
the-
one here or this one
Or
here.
the one with the objective. Yeah, either
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's the same amount of actions.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I was thinking like I wanted to get into this big building because I would be closer to the Gatling gun or
Yeah,
something.
until you fix it, though, it's kind of worthless.
Yeah. With like, and being neutered and having no blue abilities. It's just a drag. And so let's see, I got killed by the first time I got to see Fat Mace on the board. So that was my first, No. It was the first time I saw Fat Mace. So then attempt 2, I went with Itza, Father Winston, Bloody Mary, Che, Deesba, and Kopehe. This is where I learned I love the Native American survivors. They're just always so, like, almost always so amazing. I noticed Itza, her body slot says rifle, the word rifle on it, but the picture shows a pistol. So I decided to go with rifle because the art on the character says the art shows her holding a rifle. So I went with that one.
Well, what class is she?
Good question. She is, I think, a townsfolk.
Then it should be rifle.
Oh yeah, should the class just automatically come with or tell you which it should
It's
be?
right. It
Yeah.
said the slot may hold a rifle, but it's got a picture of a gun. Yeah, it's saying.
Yeah.
It's got a picture of a pistol there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
See?
Wacky, huh?
didn't notice that.
Okay.
I
But
don't
it
have
is a
that character
town
painted
folk.
yet, so.
So it must be a misprint.
Yep.
It should be a rifle.
Okay, and that's so yeah, in the Big Boom attempt. So yeah, I got stuck in a building for a bit, just enough abilities to wiggle my way out with the horse grew and grew. So yeah, it would be this building, the bigger building, closer to the wagon. So I was stuck there for quite a bit, and Abomination sort of had me pinned down, but enough abilities I was able to wiggle out of there through like the back way, which I love. Like the layout I think is so good on this. And then I was actually really lucky to find the blue and green objectives like within like this half of the board. I didn't have to go travel very far at all. I got really lucky, and that was great. I was like, all right, I got this. And And then, so, you know, those blue and green objectives are to like to fix the Gatling gun, and then to also amp its damage up to 3, so I can like start taking anything out. And what's funny is like the abomination that was stalking me for so long was just the bowler hat abomination that I drew out of like the whole abomination deck. It's kind of funny. Old bowler hat. And so I finally got my bearings. I got a bunch of survivors stationed with the Gatling gun, so I could just start mowing down the hordes that were just like taking over the streets, because I was not taking them down effectively before that. And then let's see. Yeah, then some long dead walkers came shoved in, and then an extra activation for walkers, and it was game over. So they did 2 wounds to 2 survivors. So 4 wounds total to 2 survivors that were not brawlers, and it was game over. So that's how that one went. I unfortunately did not have time to do it a third time to get it for the win. So now I've got to get my revenge on the big boom.
So 2 things. One, if you don't mind, just going back to the It's a thing real quick. I do 100% think that the pistol is a typo, because it does say a rifle underneath him. And he is a townsfolk. So I think we can, and he cannot become a gunslinger. So I don't see any reason why that would happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing about the bowler hat abomination, when you're playing with multiple abominations, you almost don't want to kill him, because it can only get worse.
That's true.
Like you almost just want to run away from him. Like you don't want to worry about killing him, because like the next one coming can only be worse.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. I just I held him at bay for quite a bit. And so I just lucked into the right strategy for a while, but still lost anyway. And then per your recommendation, James, I went to play M7, The Last Station, that you recommended, because it's similar to E8.
Yes.
Our book club mission.
Because you have to use a wagon.
Yes. And I just printed a fresh new wagon I had to use. So yeah, M7, The Last Station. It's not like a bad wagon. It's not the best wagon either, but it's it's a 3D thing.
Yeah, very cool. So, I think that's the one I use.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah. The and the they scaled it enough so that the tokens sit in it. But but not my new tokens. So I made these guys.
Ooh.
With the blue. And then I'm showing crate tokens with the red X on one side and the green circle and the
Very
X.
Fun.
It's so funny. It's an X with the line and then a green circle. It's what they did there. And then and so they're shorter too, because I had run into some that were like, nice square box.
Super tall,
super tall, too tall. And then red ones I just left the bottom empty. So just less,
Gotcha.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. And these are like the footprint is the exact size that covers the art perfectly too. I'm happy about that. Mm-hmm. They just don't stack on this wagon really well. Board Game Goodies is back and has gone digital. Support the show and save 10% with coupon code podcast at the URL boardgamegoodies.shop. The digital back catalog is being updated so you can obtain files to print at home for various game upgrades and accessories for Zombicide and other games. New to the shop are Undead or Alive tokens, and returning are all products, including the super popular Army of the Dead insert organizer and 3D taco truck. Remember, you can support the show and save 10% with coupon code podcast at boardgamegoodies.shop. But yeah, so pushing that wagon around for where was I? Mission 7, The Last Station. Survivors, Nabahi, The Nameless, Benji, Wild Bill Hickok, Butch Cassidy, and Garth. I just love being able to play with this variety of stuff in here. This is where I discovered Garth is just an absolute beast in this game, and that's cool because it is the Duke himself. The Nameless was very underwhelming. I don't know if it was bad luck, but he was really like, I barely could do anything with that character. I really like. Oh, go ahead.
Gunslingers in general, in my opinion, are weak compared to other characters.
Mm-hmm.
Just as in
Yeah.
general, I think the gunslinger is the weakest class.
I'm not a huge fan. We kind of had a conversation about fanning being a little better than I thought last episode. But like I had the Nameless on book club also, and I kind of had the same feeling.
Yeah, but if you get the right weapon, if you're dual wielding a Schofield, does 2 damage and you can fan those two, it's pretty good. But I would agree, without the right weapons, they can be at a disadvantage for sure.
But is he finding those Schofields on his own? I don't think so.
No, he's gonna need some help.
Yeah. Well, like it's a night and day difference for me, at least. Like the Nameless versus Garth and their abilities, like Nameless doesn't do anything, and Garth is like absolutely ruining everything in sight. Whether he has pistols or a rifle or a shotgun. I mean, he's just a beast.
No, you're absolutely right, Ryan. That's true.
Let's see. Oh, Butch Cassidy, I liked. I mean, well, so in this mission, M7, the last station, you have almost annoyingly so many companions. So you've got 6 survivors, especially for me as one person, right? 6 survivors. They're starting in 3 different spots on the train on the edge of the board, and then there's 6 companions that are sitting right next to the train that you got to pick up, or you should pick up, to keep them safe. And then you got to go and you got to collect all of the objective tokens, which are doubled up amongst all the buildings. So you've got 2, 4, 6, 8 objective tokens in 4 different spots, or in 4 zones. You've got 8 objective tokens that you need to pile all into the wagon. Meanwhile, they are taking up a spot in your inventory, and then get that wagon to the exit and get out of there. So, I think it's a really cool mission, a really cool design, and a lot of different stuff going on. But there is a lot going on, and it's a long time. It's a long mission. At least it was for me.
Isn't that what you think that the other mission should have been?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
This, usually the web missions kind of do something to make it better or make it different, but it kind of made it worse.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, so this one, it was cool because I did like that, even though like, oh, companions don't deal with more stuff. And this is again where I pulled out like my extra players upgrade kit, and I just, attached the colors to all those other ones to help me track who is what. It's just high cognitive load for a single person to handle like 12 survivors and all this, but that made it a little easier. But I loved like right at the beginning, like on your first turn, you're moving and you're getting, deciding who's going to get which companion. And then everybody is now becoming a faithful, is also becoming kind of faithful and also a townsfolk. So having really diverse kits across all your characters, all your survivors was good. It was fun. A lot of Vade retros throwing around. Oh, this is a rules question for y'all. Can you have more than one Vade retro token in a zone?
It doesn't do anything.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay. So like, let's say you've got an abomination in a zone and you Vade retro him with one character and you Vade retro him with another character, because you can have up to 2 Vade retro tokens down, right?
You can. Well, there's a character where you could actually have 3.
Oh, really? Even though there's physically only 2 tokens.
Yep.
Okay, making sure I'm not missing one. I've been playing it, probably making it too easy then. Where they like that abomination would activate and one Vade retro token would go away, and the other one remains.
Well, so it specifically says all Vade retro tokens in the zone are removed. So it does you no good.
Bummer. Chicken butt. Okay, so I've been cheating. I've been making it a little too easy. So
that's the thing. We didn't know. We didn't have it on the board. Dang it. That's the thing.
What?
That Ryan got wrong.
Oh,
we were wondering. What was on the board that Ryan played wrong? That's the thing. Man, we're like 3 hours in, and I was wondering if we were going to hit it. Dang. Okay. We hit it. Now I can go to bed. All right.
Glad I never
All right.
disappoint.
Good night, everybody.
Oh man. Okay, so like in any condition, if you remove a Vade Retro, you remove all of them. Then it's not
Says
just
all.
not just the end.
Sounds
phase.
like it, yeah.
It says
Yeah.
all.
All okay. Bummer. Okay. Well, that makes things harder.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So you never would. There's never an instance you would want to put 2 Vade Retro tokens on in a zone.
Unless it was tied into your class ability, or I mean your blue skill. Like say you wanted +1 to hit, right? Well, then you'd want to put your own, but the other one wanted to put +1 to damage. Well, then he has to do his own, right?
Right. Actually, yeah, that's another question I had that I forgot about. Like, if it's
Wait, is that how that works? I thought you just had to
That's
be
what it
in the
worked.
zone. I thought you just had to be in a zone with a Vade Retro. I didn't think it had to be yours.
Good
Actually, yeah.
question.
That's what I thought too. So I was going to say, additionally,
I might
like
be playing wrong.
if there's a Vade Retro token, if there are 2 Vade Retro tokens, you have Vade Retro +1. Do you get Vade Retro +1 twice?
Probably not.
Probably not, because it's the ability only triggers once.
It's like brothers in arm abilities. They don't like trigger twice if there's 2 guys there.
Right.
Hang on. You guys could be right. The survivor can use this skill or game effect in a zone containing the Vade Retro token.
Yeah.
So if Concepcion puts out her Vade Retro token, that means Thomas can get +1 to hit, or vice versa. He puts out his Vade Retro token, she gets +1 damage.
You were playing that they can only like buff themselves.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it says it in the rulebook. Effect of the zone. Doesn't say who created the effect. It says effect of the zone. Now Vade Retro, it became even more powerful.
Yeah. Except all Vade Retro tokens in the zone are removed as soon as zombies in the target zone activate. Yuck. Okay. I don't like that rule. Still don't like it. Okay. So.
But I just showed you how much more powerful it is. How do you not like that?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, the last station I won. It was a hard mission.
Vade Retro is broken. It really is broken.
It's so great.
Now that you can do that, that's crazy.
It's so great. But yeah, so I won this mission. If I can find it again, and it was a long mission. It was just on the underside of being a slog. You know, like it was long, and it felt like it should have been a slog, but it was like, I don't know. It was really a worthwhile mission, like doing the dance of getting those objective tokens to that wagon, and like just getting clumped up in the middle and like fighting with everything to get it out of the space of the wagon. Stop hoarding the wagon, all you zombies. And that abomination token, like just I could not switch that thing off long enough for it to not spawn anything. Like I'd switch it off and then it would come right back on because new abominations come out and all that. Anyway, that's part of the agony and the fun of this game. And it was cool because like half more, or maybe more than half of my survivors were at red by the end. And that's pretty rare, I think, in my games in general across the Zombicides. So that was cool. That was fun. And I was amazed I was able to survive that long, because at reds, you're looking at 10s and 12s of spawns from your runners, brutes, walkers, all of them. So every other card means an additional abomination activation. And this is where I really discovered that long dead walkers totally changed the game in the late game, especially like all that stuff that we talked about earlier. And I got to see a bunch of new abominations. I wrote down Abominabear, Little Trickster, Crocosaur, Pussbag, Wendigo. So it was definitely good times. Yeah, that was a great mission. Thanks for the recommendation.
You're welcome. Yeah, the Abominable Bear we didn't bring up earlier, but he's interesting because if all you think about is killing an Abominable Bear with or abominations with dynamite, he's no problem. But if you're one of those people that rely on Carl or Thomas, he definitely makes you think again. Because if you miss, he gets an extra activation. Right.
Yeah.
So if you're going in there, with, say, with Carl to deal with him and you miss, then oh crap, now you're getting chomped.
Yeah.
Or if you're Thomas and you're shooting at him, then he's coming after you. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the Abominable Bear is pretty cool.
Yeah, he is an absolute beast too. Like inside, like that thing is huge. It is so big and tall, and spikes coming off his back, of course, per usual Zombicide design. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, great miniature.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, nice, nicely painted there, Jason.
Yeah, well
Thank you.
done.
Yeah. Any other missions anybody else wanted to talk about?
The only other thing I would like to bring up is about the missions, and I think I said this in the core set, is I really do think they did a good job of putting the difficulty level on these. The last two missions that they say are hard and very hard are hard and very hard. I think they did a good job of saying easy is easy, medium's medium, hard is hard, where in previous editions, it's kind of subjective. I think this is a little bit closer to an objective way to do it. And I think you notice what they do. They add 2 abomination spawn points to the maps, and they take away your faithful or your bruiser or both. And that's how they make them hard, because they know the faithful class is very powerful. They know the bruiser class is very powerful, and they know that potentially adding 2 more spawn points to your board obviously is extremely dangerous. So I think that it's almost a built-in, they know how to make them harder now. And so, yeah, I think that's really cool.
That's cool.
The ability to take away survivors is certainly an aspect that I don't think we really see anywhere else. We don't see like nobody with +1 damage is allowed or anything like that.
Right.
So that is an interesting way to go about it.
Yeah, I remember in Deceased they did the like Deceased Gotham City Outbreak. They did the web mission for that, and it was a nightmare mission. And I was expressing how I was kind of a little disappointed that like, oh, the way they made this like a nightmare difficulties added more spawn zones. Like I wish there was other different ways to make this more difficult. And James, you hit on it. Like that's a way that it can be done. That's cool. All right. Usually about this point in the podcast, we like talk about like what are your favorite ways to play, and usually that's because like there are such a variety of ways to spice up your game by adding this or that or mixing that and this. There isn't a whole lot here, so but even still, like you can still talk about it. Like Schmedley, what's your favorite way to play Undead or Alive with all the stuff, with or without all that kind of stuff?
So I mean, I haven't played with the horses. I kind of usually slowly add stuff the more I play a setting, and I haven't played this one as much as some of the other ones. So right now it's all the Dead West abominations and the Long Dead Walkers and the other abomination packs, but it's mostly the abominations and extra survivors that have been added.
Yeah, for this one, for
it-
me, I'm sorry, Schmedley.
No, yeah, and it's pretty cool. I don't think it doesn't really feel like it's missing anything from that, but adding more of the maybe I don't know the Steam mechanics. I could have the advanced. Is it in Gears and Guns? Is it like an advanced equipment deck that you can just use with the original, like it is?
Yeah. So in Gears and Guns, you got the advanced equipment deck, which is the exact same thing as your normal equipment deck. What they add in is inventions, and inventions are completely different from anything else they have. So
That could be cool.
Yeah, so you're going to get a whole new deck, kind of like if you've played Washington ZC, then you know about the Secret Service deck, right? It's a different deck of cards. So inventions are kind of like that, in the fact that if you search certain places, you're going to get these cards.
Oh, okay. So like those you can't just port over to the base game, since they're location dependent.
In theory, it's a sandbox. You can do whatever you want, right? So
But,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I do like the all-out mechanic, and it sounds like it's very similar. So I could just bring the advanced equipment deck over.
right. And if you include the inventions and then just choose some way how you get them,
Figured out.
then
Yeah.
you can re-steam your weapons with those, because they include. Oh, that's the other thing. Besides the turning the card upside down, also we see how they came up with the rules for TNT. So TNT, no, I'm sorry, the jerry can. Jerry can, you drop it someplace, you leave, you shoot it, it blows up everything in the zone. That's the steam bottle. So the steam bottle has two purposes. It can either refill your weapon or you can blow it up like a jerry can.
Nice.
So pretty cool.
Yeah.
So for me, this game is still new enough that we just play with what I paint. So if it's painted, we play with it. I have everything but the Kickstarter box painted. I have all the daily walkers and stuff painted, but I don't have any of the characters or any of the abominations painted. So we play with everything else. Everything else is open game. So I don't have any new ways of playing it. We're just playing. I'm still trying to get through it all. So I don't know what to change and what not to change.
I'm kind of like Schmedley. I like to play with all the abominations, the long dead walkers, just for the variety, I think, and it's kind of a shame that so much of this, I think that if all you can get is a retail core box, I think that's great. But the additional, a lot of it, the Kickstarter exclusive stuff adds so much to it, the abominations and stuff like that. It's fun. So that's what I prefer to play with.
I had no idea. I'm still like shocked by that there's like no retail abominations.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There's like one each in 2 retail expansions, but that's it.
Yeah.
It's almost like they expected only the hardcore people are gonna really care about playing this version.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because if you look at the numbers are not far off from any other Kickstarter they've done as far as number of backers.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. And the Kickstarter was one of the lower price Kickstarters for All In that we've had in a long time.
Very well received. Like in my stats, 8.0 puts it like above. I don't think any other setting except Superhero has exclusively boxes in that range.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the theme. I love the game. I can't say that I would have just walked into a store never playing a game of Zombicide before and buying it. So maybe that's a reason, because it is a niche theme. I mean, zombies and cowboys, it's, I don't know, kind of weird, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of awesome, but kind of weird. Yeah, for me, I like to play with, I was going to say I just play with everything, but no, I don't. Like, I don't want to play with riders unless I'm going to do rider mission. I'll give it another chance or two doing that. So yeah, riders are out, but certainly all of the Kickstarter survivors, like all the core box stuff, of course, the Kickstarter survivors. Oh, we didn't talk about the one single additional weapon that's included, the Kickstarter weapon, Deesbuzz bow.
Deesbuzz bow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is a bit odd, isn't it? Like, just one character gets a starts with weapon, and it's not even any good. Dare I say. Right? It's
good when he uses it. When he uses it, he gets a bonus.
He does. I was looking for that, and I was like, where is the bonus? I didn't see it. How did I miss that? Is it on the back of his card?
Didn't it say like he gets a +1 die or +1/2 hit or something like that when he uses it?
I didn't recall seeing that. Where the hell's the weapon? Deesbuzz bow. Oh, escalation ranged. That's right. Yep, I forgot to use it.
Yeah, so escalation range is pretty good.
Yeah, it is, because it's a 1/2. I mean, the 1/2 range is good. 1 die is bad. 4+ is okay, and 2 damage is good. And it's quiet.
Okay.
Not
Yeah,
that that ever matters.
name me another starting weapon that's damage 2 that is not based on a character's blue skill.
I won't. And then bounty weapons. I don't even know what came from where anymore. Is it all like, were there any new ones in the Kickstarter stuff?
Yeah,
or is
the
it-
sheriff's badge. Well, that was a con exclusive.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
the beast head is a bounty weapon.
yeah, Beast Head from Iron Maiden. So there weren't any in the Kickstarter or any from any of the expansion
No.
content.
No.
That's weird.
Well, the Gears and Guns has its own bounty weapons,
Oh, right.
right?
Right.
Yeah. And they're actually less than the normal ones.
Are they as
It's
such
kind of
like
weird.
you can or would want to mix them in with the regular ones in regular games, or you'd only want to use them in the Gears and Guns games?
I
Are
don't
any
know,
of the
it's
bounties
debatable.
are any of the bounties impossible without the campaign mechanics? Do any of them say like
Good question.
I don't
go
recall.
full steam? Or
I don't think
No? All right.
so.
Okay.
I don't think
I know.
so. I mean, what I like about them is that they're toned down. Because when you're playing campaigns and you gain campaign skills, obviously you get stronger, right? So the bounty weapons are actually weaker in Gears and Guns. Like, take for instance, a rifle from the bounty weapon deck might be have to roll a 6 to get +1 damage. You know, it's a damage 1 rifle, right? But you got to roll a 6 to get damage 2. So, you know, it's a toned down, rifle, which I think kind of helps because you do start to get pretty. Again, I don't want to give away any spoilers, but you do start to get pretty powerful as you go along in those campaigns.
That's usually how they go. Yeah, so sorry, all survivors, all abominations, the long dead walkers, and none of the Gears and Guns because I haven't been exposed to any of that yet. And it feels like for me, again, like I'm always gonna probably say that usually it makes sense to just kind of keep those experiences contained for those campaigns, keep them special, keep the theme together that way. That's my favorite way to play. Custom stuff and house rules. James, what do you got?
Okay. So I got some stuff.
Oh, yeah. I've got to share my screen for the images of them, don't I?
So while he's doing that, I'll talk about the stuff that I've made that I didn't make. So as Ryan did say, on Thingiverse, there is a full train you can get, which is great. There's an engine, the car that's a single room, and a car that's 2 rooms, and it works great for the tiles. I highly recommend it. It makes playing with the train a lot better because then you don't have to worry about flipping over the tiles and everything. And the only thing I would say about the guy who did this from Thingiverse is on the cars, not the engine, but the 2 cars, you do need to stretch them a little bit to fit the whole tiles. They're a little bit shorter of what they should be. And then he also made the wagon, which is really cool. Ryan showed us a picture of that. It's a really cool wagon. It's really fun. And then there's another guy who did objective tokens, where his initial ones don't go with his initial ones because they only fit the old style objective tokens, but his new ones he stretched out to where they will fit the new size objectives because the new style objectives are too big. They're much bigger than the old ones. However, the stuff I made myself was because they did not come out with plastic tokens for this set. I have to have plastic tokens. So I made my own plastic spawn zones, bang, boom tokens, Vade Retro tokens, exit tokens. Yeah, there you can see that. I made those and 3D printed those. So I have my own plastic tokens. And then my group loves deck holders. So I created my own deck holders and made ones for both normal cards and the Gears and Guns cards. So you can see it's got a classic equipment or advanced equipment on them. And then on the back, you can put like the little Gatling gun and the wagon card. And I used the same wood pattern from the dashboards. And then I added little wagon wheels on the side, kind of to, kind of give it a little spruce up to it. The only thing I don't like about these, and this is just because of how I chose to print them, is I tried out the bamboo wood grain filament for this stuff because I thought, why not? It's supposed to look like wood. I just don't think the wood grain filament looks very good. I don't like it. So that's my recommendation on bamboo wood filament.
Yeah,
But other than that, I like it.
I tried wood filament a few years ago, and I didn't like much either. Actually,
Yeah. But other than
These
that,
are-
I like the deck holders.
these
They're
are
pretty
great
cool.
though. I love the wagon touch. The wagon wheels. It's so
Thanks.
charming. And then, so these are
So
multicolor 3D
sorry?
prints, or did you paint them?
no, I hand painted those because it takes too darn long to multicolor
It would.
print those.
Yeah.
Like I've started to multicolor print a lot of stuff, but some stuff is it just takes too long to print. So I just rather
How about the
hand paint it.
tokens? Did you?
Okay, so the tokens, I didn't have a multicolor printer at the time, so these
Okay.
are hand painted, but
Okay.
I am currently working on ones that you can print multicolor.
Nice.
Just because I want to try it because I got nothing else to do apparently. So yeah, I'm gonna try and make that work as a multicolor print.
Cool stuff.
But I really like the Vade Retro tokens because you can pick them up. They're a lot
Yeah.
easier to pick up than just the tokens. And same thing with the Bang Boom because it's actually multi-level. It's easier to get underneath that bang part to pick it up and move it around.
Yeah.
Well, that and the one that comes in the box is fragile because of the triangles on it. I mean, mine's
Mhm.
already kind of a lot of wear and tear, more than I would like.
Mhm.
I just like, if you all remember, I was complaining about the Bang Boom thing last episode. I just didn't even use it at all this last few missions, and I found it was fine.
Sacrilege.
There was never a time where I was like, oh no, where would the Bang and Boom have been, and where would their wayfinding be? Like, it didn't matter. And if it did once or twice, it didn't matter enough to me to just like, well, this is my game. I just play it how I want. at this
Yeah,
point.
I think the whole noise mechanic in other games. I think when you're learning the game and it's important because
Yeah.
But after you've played for a long time, 9 times out of 10, you know how the game is supposed to work. You don't really need it, but can you imagine not having those noise tokens if you're a new player learning it? You'd be thrown off all the time. So I mean, I get why it's there, but
Yeah.
it definitely loses its appeal as you become more of a seasoned player.
Right. Yeah, so for me, for some custom stuff, I showed a little bit of it earlier. So I have a Zombicide Western added to the Zombicide mission templates and map editor. And it's marked as finished,
So
but
what's
now I
left
know
on
it's not, because I have to put the tokens, or the pre-printed objective tokens back onto the boards for that.
Bullshit.
As we discovered
know.
live right here on this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's just crazy.
You saw it here first, folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I think I'm done. But it's like, no, I've got White Death to do still, and Night of the Living Dead, and Deceased when that comes out. So, so it's still my work in progress. But it's nice to have like,
Oh, you have work in progress for stuff not even out yet. You better add this pirate box. Yeah.
oh shit, I got to put pirates in here.
Better add Dead Men Tales. Hey,
Dead
it's
Men.
your decision to keep track of stuff not out yet.
Dead Man Tales. Yeah. Thank you for calling me out on that. And I've got to replace this Zombicide Fantasy logo that I made
Yeah, the new logo
for the real Fantasy Zombicide. Now, are they going to be called is it going to be called Fantasy Zombicide Dead Men Tales, or is it going to be Zombicide Dead Men Tales Fantasy, or Zombicide how are they going to name it?
I'll
the
go over
games-
how the logo looks right now. It looks
I'm
like
guessing-
Fantasy Zombicide Dead Man Tales.
Really? So fantasy is in there because it's not like it's called Fantasy Zombicide White Death. It's just White Death. It's in this fantasy line.
It's in the logo. It's got the fantasy right on top.
Like
It does have
fantasy is
fantasy on
first.
top now, which is kind of
We-
weird.
We don't need to be told it's fantasy. I mean, we see the
Maybe-
torch. We get
Maybe
it.
we do.
Yeah, there it is.
Fantasy.
Maybe they're trying that out to
Dead
see
It's just,
Well,
I don't
it'll be
like
interesting
it.
as they do other prints of some of this stuff. I mean, are they going to put Western over Zombicide,
I just,
Undead or
we
Alive?
get-
And
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I like
when we
them all
get-
being like Zombicide and then something. Like, remember the
Next Western
Fantasy
box.
Zombicide and like Western Zombicide, Sci-Fi Zombicide. Like, it's.
I heard the
I
spawn
think-
zones too in the pirate ones just going to be those faces too.
I think
Okay.
for branding, if we're going to continue on in this direction where the themes aren't really as compatible as they used to be, like with White Death and like with this, then it might be good for like branding in text when you're talking about products. So you can say Fantasy, Zombicide, Dead Men Tales.
Okay, Ryan and Schmedley, you guys should be so lucky they come out with Sci-Fi Zombicide. You guys should be so lucky. You'll be lucky if they come out with anything else for Invader. I mean, I would just be happy with anything that you get.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we get Invader Season 2.
Yeah. Hold your breath.
Any day now. Yeah.
There you go. Done.
Look
There.
at
That's
that.
why I don't get lost in the weeds on this stuff. I'm just happy to get what I get.
Yeah, but
Oh,
like,
sure.
okay, look at
I
like
just kind of like Zombicide.
imagine the folders on your computer. Like you can't just have Zombicide, 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 Zombicide. It's got to be Fantasy Zombicide and like Western Zombicide, Sci-Fi Zombicide, Modern Zombicide. And they're going to be all like mixed up, and it's going to be crazy.
Hey, Ryan, guess what? You get to name whatever your folders are.
No,
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
It's
you get
weird.
to actually type in the name of your folders.
It's
Like,
weird because
you
it's
can't do
different,
that.
but it's weird because it's different. But especially if they're gonna continue in the future, if we're gonna get more cyberpunk style sci-fi one where it's in the same setting, but the vibe doesn't match at all. I think it makes more sense to also have the setting in the title.
Doesn't fantasy cover every version of Zombicide?
Yeah, but don't talk about
Technically, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
yeah, but don't talk about that.
Oh, we're supposed to believe that zombies are real. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so anyway, the Zombicide mission templates and map editor in Figma. There's the Zombicide Undead or Alive, like 1-pager and 2-pager mission templates that just have like all kinds of room for all the text you want to do on a 2-page template, for example. And like all of, like some random crazy mission, not even really a mission setup, just kind of showing you how you could sort of set things up and use the key and all that. And then there's the mission key and components, including like a little generic label that you can always come in and type in like whatever number or letter you want. The like blue and green outline zones, in addition to all of the objective tokens, all the tokens and things you'd usually expect to see from the key, the silhouettes of things, the gears and guns stuff, including the objective cards and note cards. Also, you can drop them onto the tiles that don't have pre-printed objective tokens on them yet, but they will.
They were just learning now.
Yep. You could just drop them in the middle and start putting things on things and make your missions and so on. So yeah, that's available now. Link will be in the show notes. It's the same link as you've ever used if you've ever visited this thing. It's just that now it's updated and it has the latest, some of the latest, not all the latest, but we'll get there.
Yeah, great job, man. Really good job.
Thank you. And then there was one more thing to show. So I thought it might be helpful to have like reload tokens for all the fanning that I'm doing. So I made these little reload tokens. It's just like the bullet. What's it called? The head on the bullet, not the head, but the other side, the butt, whatever that's called. I don't know. If there are people here that
Firing cap.
Sure. So I don't know if you could barely
The
see
back
it.
of the butt end of the bullet.
Like it says reload and then UOA. I got them in gold. I got them in like a dirty gold, like an aged gold, and in like silver and gunmetal gray. And these are the same size as the Vade Retro tokens. So yes, they're a really helpful indicator to be like, oh, I need to reload that. And then of course they come off on the end phase. So yeah. Or of course you could take an action to remove it. It's something I've wanted since like classic. Like help remind me that, this needs to be reloaded. Yes, you could turn the card, rotate the card sideways, but that's really hard. Not that hard.
Yeah, so my house rule I talked about that was how to get the walkers in the game using the melting pot. So the other thing I thought would just be worth mentioning, and this works for both really any of the Zombicides, but I saw on, just to give credit where it's due, on Tabletop Dungeon podcast, he did an episode called Level Up Your Zombicide Game Night. And on it, he showed this action token ensemble here. It's on Thingiverse. It's really cool in the fact that it gives you poker style chips for your action tokens to help you kind of keep track. Now, this was kind of like one of those things that initially I was like, well, do you really need that? I mean, it's not, it is pretty cool. You get, when you're starting out, you got your 3 action tokens. And when you take your action, you flip it over. It seems a little fiddly at first. Like, well, why do you need to do that? But, when you have characters that have extra move actions, or they get a free melee action or a free combat action, and they have ones for free door action, it actually adds up quite a bit. I know even for like in second edition, sometimes you might have 4, 5, 6 of these chips out. And a lot of the games that we play with multiple, everybody likes to have at least 2 survivors. So if you're controlling a lot of survivors, or if you have new players, whenever I'm playing with a new player, I'm constantly helping them keep track of their actions because they get very confused. It is a great free option out there, especially if you have a 3D printer, great. You can print them yourself. If you don't, find a friend that has them and print them up. It's on Thingiverse for free. And we use it quite a bit. My wife, it's not something I need like right away when we start playing. Everybody's got like 3 actions, but as the game goes on, you got multiple characters, it can get a little fiddly and a little confusing. And they've come in handy, make sure that everybody's taking all their actions. This game, not taking an action or not taking advantage of an action can sometimes be the end of you. So that's my endorsement of those.
So here's my thought. Literally today, my wife showed me on Facebook this post from this guy that's playing a game of Zombicide with his 6-year-old, and he's controlling 3 characters, and his 6-year-old's controlling 3 characters. And if his 6-year-old doesn't need tokens to keep up with 3 characters, I just don't know why you need tokens for that. However, I do come from playing a long line of games from Richard Lanius. If you guys know that game designer, he's done Defenders of the Realm. It's a very pandemic like system, or The Last Defenders, or the Sinister 7. It uses the pandemic system where your characters have 7 actions. I can see where you need tokens when you have 7 actions, but when you have 3 actions, I don't know why you need tokens.
Yeah, I mean, I will admit, early in the game, maybe not needed. It depends on the more that you have going on. I would say it's a good tool if you got a lot of actions, you have new players, and that 6-year-old playing, it's like a 6-year-old painting. I'm sure he's doing a good job, but he's getting a lot of help.
Yeah, I've had like with my wife and my friend's wife, something about wives. They're the best thing on the planet. However, they need help with the games.
So don't listen to anything you said before that.
I know.
However,
it's okay. She doesn't listen this far into the podcast. Yeah, like they often, like some players new, or they're just not as hardcore as we are. Friends are just kind of tagging along. They need sometimes help with this kind of stuff. And so like, I developed like a little, like, the movement points in Massive Darkness. That's a little confusing, right? Like,
sure.
You get like 2 movement points for every move action you take, and those movement points can be used to do different things. And like, they were so confused with that. And so
it's a
like,
very different thing from this.
It is. But like, just as an example, like I made a little card that had like slots for movement points, and then cubes you'd put on those movement points, and that helped them immensely. So like, I could see that helping in this situation too. Like, Zombicide also being a beer and pretzels kind of a game. Like, maybe people are just kind of messing around and drinking beer and like chatting, a lot and being social. And that extra thing can help, especially as like more actions pile on, especially as you're expecting them to control multiple survivors and all of that. So yeah, I could see there being a help with that, and just like the bit of the culture, like you could turn your brain off that much more and just be like, I get to just flip these tokens every time I finish an action. So yeah,
I hate when people want to, like, they've taken their action, they realize they've missed something, they want to go back, but wait, I want to go back, and I hate doing that. So at least, hey, you knew what actions you had, you if you missed it or didn't do it, because retroactively you can play these games much, if you can undo a turn or something like that, you can significantly change the outcome.
Yeah. So like, while it's not for everybody, like, if you feel like your group could use, a little bit of help there or assistance, and you can always print it. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. And the fact that it doesn't come with the game is good for people like James who are like, come on, 6-year-olds are doing this. It's like, well, it did come
Oh,
with the
I
game,
didn't
so
say
it's-
that. Facebook said that. It wasn't me that said that.
Cool.
I don't have a 6-year-old, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how smart 6-year-olds are or how stupid they are. I don't know.
All right. Essential expansions for Undead or Alive.
So we've kind of gone through this a few times now, but it's a bit of slim pickings if we don't want to include the Kickstarter stuff. So I guess I'll say Gears and Guns. So I like campaigns.
Yeah, I
don't have
mean,
any experience with
honestly,
horses.
if you're just talking about retail stuff, it's Gears and Guns is your only option, right? I mean, yeah, you can get the writers, but what does that give you?
But they
You know,
suck.
6 new characters. I mean, yeah, it's Gears and Guns.
And no missions.
Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, if you could find the Dead West box for a good deal, I'd say definitely grab it. It's got a lot more survivors. Yeah,
that's true of any setting. If you can manage to get the Kickstarter stuff, it's always worth it.
Great.
If you can manage to get it for a good price.
Right. Great bang for your buck. And if you're like, if you just got that and you didn't have to get like the dead stock and the long dead walkers and all that, it'd be totally fine.
Yeah, like just especially in this one with no retail abominations.
Yeah, I mean,
I know I
honestly,
keep harping on that.
if we're going to go back to that, then Dead Stock is kind of like your, Urban
probably
Legends
find it
from
for
second
cheaper.
edition. It's 4 abominations. It's probably going to give you the best bang for your buck. If you find it for $50, I mean, you're paying what, $12.50 a miniature for those miniatures? That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And you're adding to your game. That's probably the best bang for your buck if you can get it for $50. I don't know what it's going for right now.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
And if you're lucky,
I've seen it for about 40 on eBay.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
not
fine.
terrible.
That's
Miniature.
$10 a miniature. Yeah.
that is good. Yeah. And if you're lucky, like other spots to look out for aside from just eBay's obviously a place to look for these secondhand things. thegamesteward.com,
Yep.
second chance Kickstarter stuff, and then Noble Knight. They tend to more and more just put their stuff on eBay also, but sometimes you'll find stuff that's on Noble Knight that's used stuff that people sell to them and then they resell it. Sets of things, like whole big collections of things, and just like also individual expansions of things is another great place to look for out of print stuff. And sometimes there's like surprisingly good deals. Sometimes it's like this is a little higher than even on eBay. So it's a mixed bag, but it's fun to kind of rummage through Noble Knight sometimes and try to find some stuff. And
and because we don't have a whole lot to talk here, I would just once again remind, if you are a miniature painter, just go look at Games Workshop website and look at what their miniatures cost, and then go look at what you could pay for, these CMON miniatures. You're not going to think they're expensive. Trust me. You're just not. Just go look.
All right. Any final thoughts, Schmedley?
Odd choice on the dice.
Still on the dice.
I'm a little on the spot. Sorry. I didn't want to just say give us more retail again.
Right.
Sure. So for me, this is a great game. You absolutely, if you have the means and you're interested in Zombicide, you should buy it and play it. However, the one thing, if you are going by all the Board Game Geek, Discord, or Reddit, or whatever, about this is the hardest Zombicide ever, remember that it's actually about the missions that makes this game hard. There's nothing about the rule set about this makes this game hard. Actually, it's probably more simple than previous versions of Zombicide. They simplify some things. They take out some rules. There's not as many zombie types. There's not as many interactions you have to worry about. It's really the missions that comes down to making this game hard. And it does make this game very challenging. The missions are worth playing. This game is worth playing. The sculpts are great. You should absolutely play this game. It's really good.
Yeah, I think this is even if you're not in love with the theme, I think there's enough going on with this game that really makes it fantastic. I just, I've said this before in the other podcast, being chased down by an abomination, where in another version of Zombicide, it's 3 spaces away. I don't have to worry about, with Undead or Alive, that thing could be charging down on you during one zombie phase activation and just changing the whole thing up. So I really have enjoyed, and this is one of my favorite versions of Zombicide. So it's a high recommend for me.
Yeah, I agree. This is a great game. It's good and challenging. If you or people that you know that you want to play this with, or you might want to play this with, have any sort of affinity or affection towards like the Old West themes from just the genre in general, or like movies or TV shows, like it is so great. I really feel immersed in this world. And I love playing as like Deadwood characters or Tombstone characters or what have you. And yeah, it's just very immersive in the theme. The other day, I'm just playing by myself. I was like, and with my 4th action, because I didn't have anything else to do, like just blowing the smoke off of the end of my pistols. So I think it's really great. I do want to counter what James is saying about like this is simpler. I don't think it's simpler. I think it's more streamlined, but I think it's actually more complex rules wise than more often than not than some of the other Zombicide games, because of the corpse piles and the abomination spawns and the spawn zones, spawn tokens and zones, the different classes. So like there are more rules going on here. So like if you want to jump into Zombicide with like kind of an early entry and you're not like really into complex heavy games, maybe this one isn't so much for you. Maybe it's more about like 2nd edition might be an easier kind of, easier way in. There's more rules, there's more checking. It's not that big of a deal. It's not like, oh, this is so complex, but there is more different rules to go back into the rule book and check. Like I mentioned last episode, I had to go back and check the rule book more on this game than any other Zombicide, I think, so far. But even still, like it is a streamlined system from the previous systems. It's just there's just a little bit more to it. So yeah, I think it's a great game, especially if you're even if you're slightly tickled by the Western theme. I think it's definitely a check it out kind of a thing. We all just wish that there was more available for it. So I really hope Asmodee, FFG, Guillotine, that you get us some more Undead or Alive, more Western setting stuff. All right, we hope you enjoyed our review of the Zombicide Undead or Alive Kickstarter and expansions. Next episode, we'll be doing our discussion and review on Marvel Zombies Heroes Resistance, that kind of smallerish box. Our book club mission will be M7 The Trap, for those following along at home. And thanks again, Jason, for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's been great joining you guys.
Yeah, it's been great having you. Yeah. All right, that places a Vade Retro token on you, the listener, as you're just going to have to wait until the next podcast. So just don't do anything until then. You're frozen. So thanks so much for listening or watching. Good night, everybody.
Stay nice out there.
Happy gaming.
Good evening.
Thanks again for listening to the Zombicide Fans podcast. Zombicide Fans is an unofficial podcast and is not affiliated with or endorsed by Asmodee, Guillotine Games, or Fantasy Flight Games. Thank you from your hosts, Ryan Messick, Schmedley Mayers, and James Fisher. Thanks to our special guest, Jason Triganowan, plus our sponsor, BoardGameGoodies.shop, where listeners can save 10% with coupon code PODCAST. You can check out the show on all major podcast listening platforms and on YouTube. You can reach us at zombicidefans@gmail.com. The podcast is hosted at zombicidefans.com. And you can join our communities at the Zombicide Discord and the All Zombicide Games Facebook group. All links will be in the show notes. Until next time, survive.